Aloha and welcome to my channel, All Good Things in All Good Time. And this is my show, for lack of a better name, we're calling it Talking Story with Craig Hamilton Bradley. Cheers. It was my birthday yesterday. Got through that unscathed. Got through a pretty tough Christmas, New Year's, birthday. And it's been 6 months since the town burned down and we lost friends. And strange. It seems very similar to lose, the effects of losing, everything in the fire, and then losing my mom are kind of the same. They're both kind of things. I mean, I never cried so much from anything in my life, and now two things in 6 months. I think that's behind me. Not quite feeling as much as I should that it's a great day to be alive. I've been a little bit, scrambled the last week. But I'm finding, I've been looking around, and I found, I think, most of my marbles, popping them back in there. Looking for the one that's full of rainbows, butterflies, and sunshine. I think I see it. I'm not sure. Anyway. So, but yeah, I got a couple things to talk about on a general level, what's been going on, and on a personal level, which relates to the general level, because I imagine what I'm going through is similar to what other people are experiencing as well. So yeah, that's that. I should be out there with a sunshiny background, but yeah, I'm not smart enough to do that. I'm sure I get a lot more views if it looked like a beach scene behind me. Anyway, so I'm back from my trip, and running into Ground Nation was pretty cool at the airport, meeting them. They put me on the guest list. That saved me $45, which is pretty cool. I brought them something to smoke to say thank you. But interestingly, my best buddy, Johnny, used to own a bar in Santa Rosa on 4th Street, and they're old friends. They used to play there a lot and stuff. He knows several of the band members, so that's pretty cool. I just realized that after the fact, but pretty cool. Small world, small world. You'd be surprised. Thank you for, everything, all your support. Sorry I've been AWOL. I've just been kind of, I don't really call it depressed, just kind of stuck in the purgatory between sadness and happiness in the world of melancholy. But that's, I think that's, I'm finally moving away from that now. Yeah, cheers. All right, so I got stuff to talk about. So locally, the city council passed building this temporary facility to move all the 400,000 pounds of ash to, and they've been building some infrastructure for the dump trucks, it looks like. And that is that, against much of the community's wishes. What would have been the perfect thing to imagine would have been to have them just take it right out onto a boat in Lahaina, where there's just ash everywhere already, and then out away to somewhere. But no, it's gonna get put into things and trucks and taken down the road and put into a place and then taken out someday and then taken somewhere else. But yeah. So, but so that's bad news generally for a lot of people, and that's good news for the people who are in a hurry to start rebuilding. Regardless of what happens with the ash. So that's the ash dump. I am curious about, all the money. There's a lot of people raising lots of money for people who've been affected by the fires. I just don't see any people affected by the fires receiving, uh, help from these people who are raising all this money for them. Anyway, it'd be nice to see that. Coming in from the airport, there's big signs to donate to an organization. I'm like, I just wonder, what's going on with I presume some people are donating probably, and what are they doing? Like the United Way gave everybody $1,000, and then that was it. They said, we're helping provide services. Yeah, nobody needs services. All the services are already being provided by all the government agencies and by your health insurance. And first, all anyone needs to do is just get their health insurance, which is attainable. There's no anyway, but that's kind of how they're posturing themselves. So I don't know how much I'm guessing they probably, raised maybe a little bit more than $7 million, but that's what they distributed United Way once, 4 or 5 months ago. Say with the Red Cross and everybody. Oprah is a lot of my friends are still getting Oprah Winfrey money. She denied me, but I mean she has been helping other people. So that's the one thing that's been like ongoing. But so there's that. But I need to get stuff. I still don't have health insurance. I got to do that. I probably should. I think lots of other people have applied for and received food stamps. Apparently, it's like $1,400 in food, maybe, or something like that a month. I don't know. But while I'm still unemployed, I imagine I qualify for anything I apply for. So I just probably should. But I don't know if I will. But I definitely need to apply for health insurance. We have this good Quest program here that is that Trump's, I guess, because I could try to get Obamacare, but I think Quest is better, and that's our own state stuff. We've always had good health care here in Hawaii, thanks to our relatively good politicians. We don't really have, the bad kind. I keep hearing Archie Kalepa referred to in the news. He and I had a little dialogue during the pandemic. I think I mentioned to him, just text-wise, we didn't actually verbally communicate. And I was telling him about how I wanted to do a comedy club, and he was very positive. He sent me a message saying that, I could probably get help from some organization, but a lot of the news politicians, the stories in the media, there's basically two narratives. There's the narrative of wanting to help the people of the fire, supposedly. Don't know how that trickles down to people like me but I'd love to figure out how that happens. And then there's the whole narrative of all these people that they want to help by developing business interests. That's how we're going to help these people, is really get their businesses up off their feet again and all that sort of stuff, right? So if that's true, I realize I should probably put it to the test and, just I'm going to let these organizations know that if they'd like to help me, I'd like to open a business out of the ashes. I'm from the ashes, so I suppose theoretically I'm the kind of person that should be top of the list to help. And the thing I want to do is very therapeutic. It's going to be comedy, so why wouldn't they want me to do that? It's going to be no alcohol, so you could say it's because there's this, which is good. They've got this effort to want to get better kinds of tourism. Tourists that don't want to just come here and get drunk and then get in a head-on accident. People that want to come here and take a hike and pull some weeds or whatever. You know what I mean? Be really eco-friendly tourists. People who want to, not do harm to the island or do as little as possible by the way they by their actions while they're here, right? So, yeah. Anyway, so I need to get stuff done, and that's that. They did breaking news. This is breaking news. So, I've been in a bad headspace. I haven't even been. I mean, messages going which way, I don't know. I'm not following anything. I'm just a bum. I've just been a bum. We're getting a lot of rest. It's the safest thing to do when you just don't want to deal with stuff, is just sleep a lot, because it's not really that harmful. It's not like getting drunk. You know? So, yeah. I finally called, and dang it. Not there yet, but I called someone, called FEMA, and they said, "You want to? I got a place. You want to try to get it for you?" So someone's going to call me in the next few days to see if and take my information out. I have to pass a background check, which is interesting. If it's a background check, I'm golden. If it's a credit check, maybe not. I do have a letter from my last landlord that might be persuasive. I don't know if I'll be able to interact with the people, or if the intermediary will interact with them. But if I can, you know, I'm a good tenant. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna be called, and then they're gonna run me through a background check. If that goes well, it's someplace on the 5th floor, which sounds like one of these places here in Hanakawai. Could be any kind of place. Some are nicer than others. But 2-bedroom, 2-bath sounds pretty good compared to living in a room with my son, who is not inspiring me. He sleeps all the time. Never wants to do anything active-wise that I offer. And, you know, it takes like energy just to get up the gumption and say, okay, let's the two of us go do this thing. And then he says no, and then I'm like, it just kills me. So, and I'm feeling a little bit dead inside lately. You know that feeling? You're just like, man, I just feel dead inside. That's how I felt lately. You know, mom just died, house burned down. And mom had all her first strokes on Christmas Eve. So there really was no thought of Christmas. And then I arrived on New Year's Eve and started spending the nights in her room. And then, yeah, and the thing that sucks about watching my mom die, that's just brutal. Like, no one ever just explained it to me like this, but now you'll know what really happens. So here's what happens. If they pull the plug, suppose they're whatever that you want to call it, they call it pulling the plug, but that means pulling the feeding tube. That means they're pulling hydration. They're pulling water. We all know a person can't live more than 72 hours without water, so they dry the person out to death. They kill them by thirst. And that's just normal. Give them morphine, pull the plug, let them die by dehydration. Holy shit, that's pretty gnarly. I'm just saying. I never really contemplated it like that. But that's what it is. I mean, it's gnarly. Anyway, I would have liked water to continue to have been provided. Now I know, because that's just, I mean, what if there's any chance that that person could make any kind of comeback, like, and you just don't give them the time or the chance, or maybe they'd like a little bit longer. She kept raising her hand. She brought it up to her mouth once. I think she was saying, please, I'm thirsty. Like, but anyway, it's the one thing that just sits poorly. And of course, yeah, so on top of all the other just realities, just like that is just kind of haunting. So, yeah, so then there's the story of White Will Smith, which is interesting and a little bit funny in some ways. So if you don't know the story, I was, a week ago Friday, I was at Vince's Italian Ristorante on Harbor Boulevard in Sacramento. and I wanted to go do open mic night. They do comedy night, so I went there because I really wanted to make a video for my channel. It's one thing that we don't have here in Maui is a comedy club of any kind, which is another reason why it's a good idea. So I'm feeling confident. I put myself first on the list, never done that before, and I'm there before everybody. It's real casual. Everybody gets to go. There's no like somebody who doesn't get to go. And I make friends with these first two people that show up. Is this guy from originally from Nepal, and then another lady, 70 years old, who was married to a guy she didn't like that much. In the end, he died, and she gets his Social Security, and she does jokes about him still. So, and then the other guy, so anyway, so they both said yes, because I wanted to put their little people's bits on my YouTube channel for a couple reasons. First of all, of course, if they're funny or good, that's great. You know, the problem with doing open mic stand-up comedy is you might be great, but you're playing to a room of 9 people. 9 people see you perform, right? It's like you're in the woods and no one hears you. So, so as soon as I realized, oh, I could get some views on my work, I could get views on others too. But then also there's this other comedic side to open mic stand-up comedy, which I hope you get to see also, because there's a lot of really bad comics. And a lot of them do just like a lot of weird, like almost like hate comedy, where they're just like letting you know who pisses them off in the world, whether it's their last boyfriend or white men or white people, or they're doing like misogynistic shit and they think that's gonna be okay, or they're doing racist shit thinking that's gonna be okay in their own cute way. It's just weird, you know. It's weird, really. I just don't, I mean, just because you've got the whole world, there's so many better options. There's silly things. You can make even racial jokes are fine. We got a lot of great racial jokes here, but they don't have to be like mean-spirited. They can just be funny and fun. And I don't see guys and ladies and men pursuing funny racial humor. They're doing like biting, I'm pissed off jokes. Anyway, so it would be fun for you to see all these people who are, you know, talking about the shit that really bothers them, things that they hate, right? Which isn't always the best, you know. It's generally better to talk about things you love and like in life, but also, I think, on a stage of comedy. So I'm there. I do my thing, and then I film these first 2 people, and then a third one says yes, and so I'm halfway through filming that guy sitting at the bar, and this guy comes up behind me just angry as shit. Stop filming, and grabs my phone and then scurries outside, and then throws it up on the roof, I guess. That's what he said. He did. Comes back in and says, if you want your phone, I threw it up on the roof. Stop filming. Meanwhile, these people wanted me to film them. Like, he thought I somehow was invading their privacy, like they didn't want me to. And one guy, Sabas, was like talking to me through the whole thing, and so was the nice lady that went first. They were both like, which was weird, you know, to have them including me into their little comedy bits. And so I was responding back, talking a lot, and I bought him a beer, and he just took offense to the whole thing. And so anyway, White Will Smith, Joe White Will, who will forever be the White Will Smith. Anyway, so I did this funny thing that I didn't really realize entirely what I was doing until I really contemplated it later. But I sort of tortured the guy in some ways, I guess. I mean, first of all, we don't know what his weaknesses are. Maybe he's had, you know, problems with his anger in the past. Maybe he's got a custody battle going, you know, and he can't afford to get in trouble with maybe he is on parole or probation, or maybe he you know, who knows, right? What his insecurities are. I was thinking this is Sacramento. I mean, I don't know what the odds are, but they're not zero that he's got a gun on him, literally. Like, insecure. Think he was shorter than me, which basically everyone shorter than me is it's possible they could have a short man's complex. I'm right at that height where if you're shorter than me, you might have a complex, because I am 5'10", right? And so maybe, you know, I don't know. But anyway, I just left. I just got my stuff and just left, right? So everyone in the bar, first of all, there's the people that were my friends who sort of knew him. It was sort of a community in this bar. You know, I'm playing out in my mind all the things that likely happened, might have happened after I left, and what would have gone on in his mind, right? First of all, he doesn't know who I am at all, right? I could be going out to a car and getting a gun, or I could be out there waiting for him to drive home, or I could be out there at the police station getting the cops coming back to get him arrested, right? He doesn't know who I am, what I'm doing. In reality, all I did, right before I did my comedy bit, I popped a 100 milligram THC edible, like a pill, but it's really like an edible, I guess. And so, oh man, I was hungry, and you know, I just went to, there was fast food there. I don't only have like one or two kinds here on the west side. It's one of those small towns in America. You know, if we got another fast food restaurant, I'd be like, wow, that's exciting. So I went to a Carl's Jr., you know, I can never go there. So went to Craig, I got 2 burgers, killed them both, and sat there in my car like 150 yards away from the bar parking lot and just fell asleep in my seat. Woke up right at 2 a.m., drove back there and looked like, oh, everyone had just left the bar entirely. So I missed everything. But apparently at some point, you know, who knows what kind of shit he was given by the people in the bar. Who knows what sort of thoughts are going through his mind, what his vulnerabilities are, all the things he might have been thinking I might be capable of. Of course, the people there with me, like, they know my mama just died, and they're like, what a dick you are. That guy his mom just died, etc. And my house burned down. So anyway, I guess he went and retrieved it, and then it was broken. So he took it upon himself, so paranoid. He'd taken it to some guy to get it fixed. And so now the asshole that took my phone is now in possession of it, you know, like the next day. And so I come, and I know this because I come back to the bar the next night. I just come back the next day. And the same bartender's there, thank God, who was there when it happened. And he's like, oh, Joe has your phone. He's getting it fixed. I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. And he dials him up and hits send and call and goes, here, hey, Joe, I got him right here. And he gives me the phone. So now suddenly I'm on the phone with the asshole that stole my phone, broke it, and now he's got possession of it, and he's getting, now, it's unlocked, so he could just go in there. He could just totally fuck up my life. I don't know if he realized how much power he had over me. But he did. He had a lot, because he could have gone in and just deleted videos on my YouTube channel that I'll never get back, and stuff like that. So, I'm fucking worried that, you know, and it can get in my fucking email and shit. So, you know, I'm worried just from a security standpoint and all that stuff. And so, but then I do a little like mental torture on him. Because he doesn't know I have 3 phones, so, and he got the worst one of the 3, the only one I don't really care about at all, except for those other details. And so I sent him a call from a text from one of my other phones, you know, where's Craig's phone, as if I was a third party, you know, some tough guy. And one from my dead mom's phone, where's Craig's phone? Anyway, and then I finally sent him one from my phone saying, a call